I want to showcase a fun example that demonstrates the power of using ChatGPT to refactor code so it's more comprehensible and useful for examples. I was trying to show some examples in one of my programming classes of the 3-argument version of the Java streams reduce terminal operator. And so I did a little digging and I came upon this particular example that's available at GitHub. And here's the code. This demonstrates using the 3-arity Java reduce operator. And it uses this in a case where you have the type that's being streamed being different from the type that's going to be the accumulator result. And so if you take a look at this, you can see we've got a map that maps string to doubles, something called baseline, and something else that's called actual, and it's got some states and some values in it. And then down here, we take that map, the baseline map, turn it into an entry set, turn that into a stream, and then reduce it. And here you can see that we have the sum and the entry, which are different from what we do at the bottom, which is basically going to be adding the doubles together. The problem with this example was it really wasn't clear what it was doing. It's got states, it got values, but there's really no explanation as to what this meant. So I wanted to find a way to turn this into something more meaningful. So let's go ahead and see how ChatGPT can help us do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the code from this example. So we just go in here and select it, highlight it, and then we cut it. We're then going to open up a new instance of ChatGPT, and I'm going to paste the code in here. But first I'm going to say, please regenerate the following Java streams code so that the example is more compelling and understandable than what's there now. And so we'll just go ahead and cut and paste the code, hit the return, and let's see what ChatGPT will spit out from that. So you can see what it does is it first talks about explaining what it's doing. It says it needs to have some comments. You can make the variable names more understandable. You can initialize the data structures better. This particular example uses states such as Arizona and so on as keys and some random double values. And it says it can make this more intuitive to relate to a real world scenario. So let's go ahead and see what it does. What it's going to do is create an example with a retail store that has different types of products with their prices. And so if we come down here and take a look at this, you can see that we have some products such as laptops, smartphones, headphones, and keyboards with notional prices. You also notice that it's changed the way it's doing the initialization using the double curly brace initialization syntax, which is a little more clean. And then down here, it creates the original prices plus the discounted prices. And then you can see what it does is it goes ahead and it regenerates the same code, except this time we're going to call it total discount. And it'll take the original prices, convert that into an entry set, into a stream. It'll do reduce. It's doing effectively what had been done before, but this time it's going to be a more understandable example. So we're going to end up computing the total discount. You can see the discount prices, of course, are less than the original prices. And that's what we get as the result here. So this is a nice short example that I can now use to teach my class example better, demonstrating the use of the 3-parameter version of the reduce terminal operation in streams, but it's a lot easier to explain to my students and to myself than what I had started with. ChatGPT also provides a nice summary of what's improved, saying this new example should be easier to relate to, it's better commented, the variable names are more descriptive, it uses modern Java syntax for map initialization, and so on. So nice example of how we can use ChatGPT to refactor pretty much arbitrary Java code and make it more relevant to the topics we're teaching.